the Austrian Master Lee.
And Lulu.
All right, some Rush with a song that I don't think I've ever heard before, but the fans are telling me, now this is one of the bigger ones. This was, in fact, like heavy rotation on the radio. It's like a poppy radio song.
Okay.
It was funny. Like, I've heard of Rush all through my years growing up. They were on the radio a lot, right? They had a couple of other songs that we have heard, but I'm going to admit, and Rush fans are going to get mad at me, but like, I always just like skipped over them. I was like, yeah, not for me.
This.
No, not this song. I don't think I know this song. Maybe I do. I just say Rush in general.
In general.
Yeah. It wasn't my kind of music. But it's only since when we started to react to them, right? And we got to see them play live that I started to appreciate, like, wow, these boys, they's talented. They could play multiple instruments. The way they even play, it's like massive. They are probably one of the best instrumentalist bands out there.
Right. So far from what we reacted.
You know what? We reacted to like 1,000 bands. So like, that's already top of the list, baby. Top of the list, okay?
Who knows? We haven't maybe reacted to...
I mean, we haven't reacted to Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins, and he was a one-man band who played every instrument. But my point is, Rush, one of the best. So it goes to show you that like it really does help to have visuals that go along with music. That's why we love watching music videos, because it adds a dimension about something that for me, like it actually does change the way I think about like a lot of bands from the past that I never had interest in before. Yeah, so all right, let's check it out. Limelight. I'm willing to bet this is all about someone who grew up on a lime farm.
And there's a lot of lights.
By the way, you want to hear some wicked wild stories about Vegas? You got to check out my channel.
And if you want some hotness, check out my fantasy show.
She's hungry for the limelight.
Intact, living in the limelight, the universal dream for those who wish to see, those who wish to be must put aside the alienation, get on with the fascination, the real relation, the underlying
Wow.
You know what's interesting is that wherever they're filmed, that it looks like it's in some kind of cabin somewhere, nowhere. I think that's the same place where we saw them when they were before Tom Sawyer. Yeah, it was like I think the same like shoot, and maybe place, that's where they like made the music and they recorded it. But like. That drummer dude, man, look at that setup. That's a odd transition.
They're like nerd for me. They look like a nerd musician.
They do look like nerd musicians, yeah. Like
Right?
tech musicians. Like, you know, like tech people, like, I'm going to code. They're almost like the way they write music feels
Yeah.
like they could be.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
What is that sound?
Living in the limelight, the universal dream for those who wish to see. Those who wish to be must put aside the alienation. Get on with the fascination, the real relation, the underlying theme. The real relation, the underlying theme.
Dun, dun, dun. Woo! Wow.
It's
Why would
such
they?
a complex song.
You know what? I think I figured out why I didn't like Rush before.
Why?
Because I was not mature enough musically. Here's the thing, right? And this is something I learned about only recently.
Yeah.
Most songs that get radio airplay follow like the same 3 chords. Quite literally, like 50% of the songs you know out there. Like, you Google this; it's really fascinating.
agree
Like, someone's
with
been able
you.
to figure out, like,
I
all right,
saw
I'll
a
play this
video
song,
of that.
and I'll play a song like it's these chords. So we like that sound. So when it's familiar and it has that same sort of structure for the song, easily
Yeah, easy
pop.
for you to like
Rush,
remember.
man, they make up their own shit. It's like, you know what? We're not only gonna slow it down when we should be speeding up. We're gonna make sounds up here you never even heard before. Like, like who does that? Right?
Only genius when it comes to
Yeah,
like,
I think
music.
that's why I didn't appreciate it, because I think when you're younger, you're much more like into sounds that are familiar, right? But you really have to like appreciate like what they can do with music here.
I'm telling you, the complexity of this song, I cannot even be part of a band.
They're
No
so good,
way.
they do. They can literally rock out in onesies and it'd be like, we're still cool. Who decks out a log cabin in the middle of nowhere with a kick-ass sound stage like that?
Remember when Queen had to go somewhere of nowhere and write their songs? It's almost
I guess so. It must be somebody, like some other famous artist who's, I want to build my own sound studio type of thing. Because, I mean, the dude's wearing a purple onesie, so it must be cold wherever it is, up in the Canadian, like, tundra type of thing.
wherever you're inspired to create, that's where you follow.
It's a hell of an amazing studio, you can tell. That was awesome. Great jam. Great recommendation.